Hello, and welcome to Let's Play Pokemon Yellow with me, Amanda. I don't know what the with the me, I was Mario for a little bit, I guess. We're in Vermilion City, and this is what the stats are for now with Pokemons. I just kind of skipped showing you guys the Gold Nugget Bridge, excuse me, and, you know, oh my gosh, excuse me, and, you know, going up to Bill's house and everything, because that's just a lot of trainer battles, and not really too much to the point, other than I picked up an SSN ticket, and that's where we're gonna go, is gonna go hang out on the big ship, where there is a slight plot point, very slight, in that you get an HM. And as far as I can remember, on the red, blue, and yellow, and green if you're in Japan, there is not a place to heal your Pokemon on the ship, which kind of sucks. That was also another good addition in the later games, or at least the remakes and the second generation, where you could heal yourself on board the ship, and it didn't take 5,000 hours. And there she is, the ship. Wow, this music is way not as good as I thought it was. Anyway, I apologize if you're listening to this and you suddenly realize, Amanda, you're speaking with an English accent, specifically a type of Londoner accent, and that's all because I have been watching quite a bit of Londoner, YouTuber, Englander, YouTube people, and stuff has happened. You know, when you watch a lot of another accent, you kind of pick it up in your brain, or at least I do, and some of my friends do. My friend Joe lived in Brazil for a year and had a Portuguese accent for like the next year and a half. It happens. Anyway, we got a long one coming up for you just because this ship takes for freaking ever, as far as I remember. I try to get through it as fast as possible. Again, I do kind of remember who to talk to and who not to talk to, maybe, and like where to get some items. I know there's some stuff in the kitchen to get, but, you know, you guys can sit through it. If I can play it and not be tempted to use the spacebar, which I discovered while you guys weren't looking, speeds up the game a little bit, you know, to like 3,000% speed, which is helpful, like, during battles when you're like, oh my god, can this please be over? And then it is over, and, you know, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, So I don't want to do that here, else, you know, it acts a little bit weird, and I'm kind of afraid to press the button too often, so. I'm sorry, I'm going to try not to do that too often. I just have a lot of ugh going on right now. Yeah, how dare I barge into your unlocked room? Don't want company? Put the do not disturb sign out, buddy. So I picked up my DS the other day, because I haven't touched Pokemon Black 2 in a little while, and I'm like, I've finished everything except for, if you know the game, then you know you start off in a different spot than you did in Black and White. So I'm going to where you start in black and white, because that whole peninsula area is kind of blocked off until after you beat, well, you know, the main game, not the extras afterwards. So I'm finally getting over there, and just like, after playing this for a while, because I've been just focusing kind of on this, I'm like, I'm playing it going, oh, thank God, I don't have to forget things. Because seriously, with this game, I just have to forget all the time. Like, okay, disregard steel type, disregard the fact that you have to, you know, it doesn't matter. Disregard all of these other moves that you know you could get, and they're so much more effective than the ones you have here. Disregard this in EV training, and, you know, oh, geez. Like, when I realized how much I had to forget, it was very interesting how much I just absorbed without even realizing it. Because I'm not really much of an EV trainer, because I don't understand it. I really don't. I do know, like, some basic stuff, like, if you have certain types of Pokemon that have certain kinds of abilities, then it'll benefit the other ones in your team. And then there's the Pokevirus that, like, super max out all your stats. You don't even see all the stats that you can use in this game, which I found interesting, that they just decided to keep adding things in there and make us do math. Yeah, there's a lot of math involved in later Pokemon, and I didn't realize how much I was doing. I was hoping he would tell me, oh yes, there is in fact a place where you can hear Pokemon, but there is not. Sadly, there are only people, and I can't use any of these beds. I don't understand the decorated beds. If I can't use them... Well, you people are useless. This entire room is a trap. Everybody's very fond of the basic... I keep thinking that too, like, oh, everybody's pretty fond of these, you know, pretty basic, not really too special Pokemon. Why don't they use, like, I don't know, Slack Off? And I'm like, oh wait, that doesn't exist yet. Like, why is everybody using the same 4 Pokemon? Because that's all that's available. Speaking of new Pokemon, I'm very excited to see what Sylveon's type is, because I really hope there's not a new type, because there has not been a pure dark type gym yet. You would think in 6 generations that there would be one. 7 now, I guess, with Pokemon X and Y. There has not been a pure dark type gym yet. There's been Ghost, there's been other stuff, but there's not been dark. So if they introduce a new type, and that type will undoubtedly get a gym, because that's how things work now, and they're really promoting the new evolution, it'll be completely unfair. So people are like, oh, it's gonna be like the fairy type, or the magic type, to which I'm like, okay, Pokemon aren't magic to begin with? Like, seriously? Really? See, I'm verbally keyboard smashing because the stupid for that. But they're like, it's fairy type, it's the magic type, and I'm like, so what is, like, Togepi and Togekiss and, you know, whatever other stuff, that's all just gonna be recast. I know that's been done before, the recasting, but seriously, come on, really, come on. Yeah, and then this girl always kind of irritated me. Like, when I first saw that, I was like, oh sweet, we're gonna see different ones because maybe there's other stuff around the world. And then she just has a Pidgey, and I don't remember what comes next. A female Nidoran. I think that might be it. So that kind of irritated me. I was like, ah, but then I don't know. That's all that existed in her world at this time. But yeah, back to Pokemon X and Y. I'm excited to see kind of what they're gonna do with it. I'm a little annoyed that I have to get a 3DS. I have not gotten one yet just because it's expensive, and I don't have any money. Literally, I do not have any money. So I'm kind of irritated that I have to upgrade and but you know, they're not getting me to buy a Wii U until, you know, I absolutely have to for something. Probably the next Zelda game will include it somehow, and then I'll have to buy it then, and then Nintendo can have all of my money, even though they're always going to get it anyway. But the new Pokemon designs, they look interesting. They're the new starters anyway. We haven't really seen anything except the starters and, what's it? Sylveon. And I think we've seen Fennekin, the fire types evolution, or one of them. I think it would be interesting if they just kept it to one evolution. See how that works out. Each starter only gets one. That hasn't been something that they've done before, which it kind of ruined people's gift set ideas, which, you know, I think that would be cruel and unusual punishment, but I would still laugh anyway. But yeah, we've only seen the one, and people are kind of irritated about it, and I'm just like, guys, it's the fire type. The evolutions usually aren't so great for it. That's just me. Like, after Charizard, they just kind of went downhill. And then what else? They really haven't released too much other information. You know, the battle system's going to be slightly different, or at least the way that's set up. And... yeah, and then everybody's just trying to figure out what type Sylveon is, because, I'm probably Sylveon. So I can't look it up right now. The new evolution, based on the name, because the other ones, their names kind of say something about, you know, Jolteon, Flareon, Umbreon, Leafeon. I was actually very excited when they released Leafeon's name. I was like, yes, it's the one that I came up with, and everybody else on the internet came up with 10 years ago. But we can't really figure out, like, based on just the name, because it's, like, based on Sylvia, and that's, like, forest, nature goddess. So, maybe some kind of god Pokemon. If there's a god evolution, like how Arceus is, like, the Pokemon world of god, like, if there's suddenly just god status Pokemon, like, I don't know. Also, I might be a little bit annoyed, but I'll probably end up, you know, not caring in the end, because they kind of did the same thing with the Pokemon movie 2000, and, like, suddenly the legendary birds are gods, which that was awesome, because if you have not noticed my username, you know, that was, I thought that would, you know, that's my favorite movie, like, Pokemon movie, hands down, just because I was It featured legendary birds heavily. Not as much Articuno time as I would have liked, but, you know, the Burger King toys also featured Articuno, which I was pretty pleased with that anyway. And then, you know, there was a lot of, I was a very, before I kind of really understood what that meant, because I was, oh, I don't know, I don't remember, 11? Was I? How old? Yeah, I was 11 when that movie came out. So yeah, I was 11, and I didn't really understand what it meant, but I really thought that Ash and Misty were totally in love with each other, and I'm pretty sure, I'm still pretty heavily invested in that. So, and that movie was very heavy on the ship teasing in that movie for them. So that was also a very pleasing thing for me. It pleased me as a child. That was weird. I shouldn't do that again. Oh, and I forgot how much I hated this. I had to not... You can't carry everything, which is dumb. Because you need everything. Again, when I was playing Black 2, I was like, oh, I have everything in my bag at once. It's amazing. Thanks for letting me come into your room and steal your stuff and not battle me over it. Was anybody else ever confused, like, when they were walking around and their Pokemon was poisoned, like, there was suddenly a thunderstorm? Because I didn't really understand that at first, that it was just my Pokemon losing health. I just thought, oh, there's just suddenly a freak thunderstorm. That's cool. And then I think it was Generation 3 when they introduced, like, weather. Because I knew there was, yeah, because there was a Pokemon that changed with the weather. God, Generation 3's graphics were terrible. Yeah, 2 was they introduced day and night, and then they kind of just got rid of it. Well, they didn't get rid of it, but they just kind of were like, maybe let's not place so much emphasis on it. Anyway, I will finish this battle next time. Okay, bye.